Right, so in today's video, we're back on the top tier lawn and we're tackling a bit of a problem that this lawn has at the moment. And that problem is disease. Now, I've been doing this hobby for about 5 years or so now, and this is the first time we've really had to deal with disease in the lawn. And I think a big part of that is to do with the grass species that I'm dealing with. This space is bent fescue and it was previously ryegrass. Now, just as a bit of a brief difference between the two, there's ryegrass, one seed, there's one plant, it all grows vertically like this. And this being bent fescue, a lot of the growth is lateral. And if I just bring you in really close, you can see that the sward is really nicely knitted together. It's really thick, looking spot on. But let's first look at how can you identify if you've got disease in your lawn. And you'll be able to see now as I just get over the top of the lawn, all these little brown spaces that are knocking about. And they're quite literally all over the show. I mean, this side here, it looks pretty poor. It did start with a small brown space in the middle of the lawn, and what I have been doing a little bit recently is when I've been cutting the lawn, I've not been putting the grass collector on the front. I think what I've kind of done is any of the sort of fungal spores that have been sitting on that space, I've kind of spread around the rest of the lawn, which isn't ideal. But that's obviously caused it, I think anyway, to spread around the space. So before we actually talk about what we're going to do to tackle the problem, the first thing you should really ask yourself is what's causing you to actually have the disease in your lawn. And most of the time, the cause of the disease is a fungal problem. Now, because we've had quite a lot of rain this summer, and obviously we've had the heat from the sun, shed tons of rain coming down, it's just meant that for the most part, the grass is sat in kind of warm but humid conditions. And they're kind of the perfect conditions for the fungus to kind of spread and grow about your lawn. So now that we know that, we almost need to think about what can we do to combat the moisture problem that we have in the sward. And that's where a product like this comes into play. Now, this is soluble iron. You can get it in loads of different forms. You can get it in pre-mixed liquid form, you can get it in granular form, or you can get it in this soluble stuff as well, which you just put in your spray, mix it with water, get it on your lawn, jobs are good. Now, I'm not sure if A1 Lawns still sell this, but if you just get yourself onto Amazon and just type in soluble iron or liquid iron, you'll find something very similar. Now, often what iron's used for in your lawn is moss control. What it'll do to that moss, it'll basically dehydrate the plant so that it can't spread those spores about. And I'm going to use the same principle to actually tackle the fungus problem that we have on that small lawn in the garden. By putting down some iron, what it should hopefully do is almost deprive the fungus of that moisture. And another benefit you're going to get from iron too is it's going to green up your lawn as well, which obviously is going to be a bonus. So fingers crossed it'll mask for the meantime any of those sort of dead looking spaces until the disease is completely gone. What you'll kind of want to do after applying something like this is water your lawn a little bit a few days after, just to make sure that you're not just letting the iron sit there for too long, because like I said, if it's too hot it can scorch it and you're almost going to do more harm than good, which you obviously don't want to do. Now, this product does say that you can get on with anywhere between sort of 2.5 and 5 grams per metre squared. With this being the summer, like I've just said, I don't want to risk scorching the lawn. I got on with around about 3 grams per square metre instead on that small space. So there we go, only a tiny amount that I'm going to be putting down onto the lawn, but it should be enough just to tackle the problem that we do have. And what I've done when I've been applying this soluble iron in the past is that I've been dissolving it inside of a separate container before putting it into the spray, because there was one time when I put it in the spray, it didn't mix up properly, and then the pipes got jammed with a little bit of the dry product. So just want to make sure that everything is completely dissolved before you do put it into your knapsack. And what you'll want to do as well is just a little shake for good luck too, to make sure that everything is mixed up really, really well. And you know, I mean business too, because I've got the wellies on. If you're putting iron down onto your lawn, just be mindful, it does stay in hard surfaces. So try your best to keep it away from any wood, any stones, any patios, anything like that. And if you do, happy days, you'll be absolutely fine. So there we go, the liquid iron has been applied. Let's give it around about a week. You should start to see the effect of the iron after just a couple of days, but let's give it 7 days. Let's see what this space is looking like, and fingers crossed, those darker spaces start to disappear because we're going to dehydrate that fungus. Right, so it's been a week now since we got on with the application of liquid iron. I put this fence up the first day we put it down just to stop the dog from running onto the lawn. So I put this up to protect them, but yeah, let's get it down, see what the lawn's looking like. So there we go, a week after putting the iron down, and you can see that the space is actually looking pretty decent. All those little spaces that we had, even if getting the shade here where you might be able to see it a little bit more kind of clearly, you can see where they roughly were, the odd one, but for the most part it's completely clear. And like I said at the start of the video, it's all about the iron dehydrating the plants. What it'll do to your grass is it'll actually dry the actual grass blade itself, and sometimes when you put the iron application down you get a little bit of almost like shrinkage on the actual leaf blade of the plant, and sometimes it goes a little bit darker. You can see you've like scorched the lawn by over applying, but what it's doing is it's sapping a lot of that moisture out of the leaf, and then it's obviously making it much harder for that fungus to be able to reproduce and spread the spores around your lawn. So there we go, didn't really need to put any nitrogen down. Sometimes you do see things online where it says put a heavy application of nitrogen onto your lawn because it'll help the plant to actually grow out the disease, but it just shows you need to ask the right questions. You've got to think to yourself, why is the disease in the lawn, and what can I do to the lawn to actually remove the disease and prevent it from spreading any further. So yeah, let's get the lawnmower, let's give it a cut, see how nice it looks. So there we go, the space is looking absolutely spot on. If you have any disease in your lawn, especially this time of year, get on with a low application of liquid iron, and it's going to go a long way to actually improving the overall colour and health of the sward. So thanks for watching today's video. Hopefully you found it useful if you have got a similar problem to what I had on this lawn last week. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this and you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, and as ever the link to the Instagram is in the description below. And finally, thanks for watching.